Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. How you gonna react when you're put in your back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the smackdown.
Alright guys, moving on to fight number 9 for section 20. I want to thank once again Phoenix Ice Able for his fight for fight number 8. Move on to the fight for this fight. So here we go. So we have Gene Starwind from Outlaw Star versus Peter Quill, the Star-Lord from Marvel Comics. So yeah, we got Gene Starwind versus Peter Quill, Star-Lord. This is by ShadowGothRyu. So let's get into this, shall we? All right. So let's start with Gene Starwind here. Gene, as you all know from the classic famed Outlaw Star, it was classified. Gene is in his early 20s in the series. He's in his early 20s. He was an outlaw, and he pretty much is always trying to make it big with his partner James or Jim Hawkins. He hails from Earth. He is an Earthling. Gene pretty much uses his wits a lot. We saw that. He tries to outthink somebody or just, get inside your head. He's not necessarily technically a fighter. He can, throw some knuckles if he needs to. But he does rely on his weapons as well. As well as the various weapons from that area in Outlaw Star. We've seen him use like energy shields and a lot of small pistols and things like that. But of course, one of his famous weapons of choice is perhaps one of the most popular, or say one of my most favorite guns in fiction, the caster. I like the caster gun. It's cool. The various number bullets even make it even cooler, but dangerous. But Gene definitely he is really no fighter. He uses his wits and his charm in a sense. But don't let that confuse you, because that could be your downfall for him. And he's got a good crew. And Gene is a very good character. Sometimes a nitwit, but he's cool indeed. Gene Starwind. So move on to his combatant. And we're kind of keeping it out in space here, so that's cool. Move on to Marvel, and we have Peter Quill, Star-Lord, the Star-Lord. It's kind of funny because good to know that Guardians of the Galaxy is doing so well. But Peter Quill from Marvel Comics, the Star-Lord. Is an Earthling. He's a half Earthling, half alien. His father is the king of the Spartors or Spartarics. I'm forgetting the name of their race. His mother was an Earthling, and his mother was killed by aliens after they found out, that the king of basically the bloodline of Peter's family, and he later on became pretty much very interested in the stars, so he joined NASA. I'm talking about his original origin before they retooled it. But after that, he really took into space, and he became the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And Peter, he's always one of his most famous, or I should say his trademark looks for Peter is like he wears that mask, that helmet, that looks pretty cool. It looks kind of like he's like almost like he's some space age Nazi if you look at it from a little distance, but it's not. But then of course he goes to there's many space suits he's had, and most of his suits enable him to fly and to survive out in space. He can heal fast. He has energy shields as well. His weapon of choice is pretty much the element gun. He has this gun that's like a cool gun as well. That's his weapon of choice that is voice activated. He is an excellent marksman. He's skilled at hand-to-hand combat as well as swordsmanship. Peter is a good leader too. Don't let that fool you. Like, don't let what's going on in the movie and things fool you guys. He's actually a good leader. And they follow him. The rest of the Guardians do follow his lead. Hence, in a sense, the Star-Lord came from. But he's pretty cool. Like I said, his various guns have changed. I mean, he had the element gun, and then after Annihilation, he started to use a pair of machine guns that were like really advanced. They weren't just ordinary machine guns. But he's a good character nonetheless as well. Star-Lord, ladies and gentlemen. So, moving on to the battle breakdown for this fight. This would actually... I don't really see these two fighting for long. It would be maybe a misunderstanding, but overall, I look at it like this. It may be a misunderstanding, 1-2 between them, and honestly, these two are like, hey, yo, you want to go get a beer or something like that? I could just see these guys just chilling and being drinking buddies. Like, you want to get a beer? Like, okay, hey, why are we fighting? Let's just get a beer. Let's go, something like that. You see the crew of the Outlaw Star and the Guardians, joining forces on and having a good time with each other, especially the two captains. But if anything, it would be kind of interesting, the caster versus the element gun, which would be really interesting. But if in terms of a fight, I'd give it to Star-Lord. He's just more tactically sound and would be able to defeat Jean. Like I said, Jean is kind of off the wits. He's like, it's like everything is almost like in his face, so he's thinking right there. As in terms of like, he's just coming up with plans. With Star-Lord, he knows where he's going, the direction, bam, he tries to accomplish what he sets out. There you go. He's more tactically sound to be, but I still say they'd just be two drinking buddies, in my opinion. That's how I look at it. So I'm going to leave this one open. I'm going to stay neutral in this one, guys. But what about you guys? Gene Starwind from Outlaw Star, or Marvel's Peter Quill, Star-Lord? And I want to thank ShadowGothRyu for the fight. And that was fight number 9 for section 20. We move on to the next, and I will see you guys soon. You guys know the slogan? Battle on!